So today I finally got round to recording my own personal Wim Hof practice. I have recorded it from my bed because I wanted it to be as authentic as possible, and that's where I spend every single day for the last just over 2 years, 20 to 25 minutes doing either 4 or 5 rounds of breath, and I do a minute and a half, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, 2:45, 3 in this practice. I will try and do a voiceover for it, but I want you to hear the breathing too, so you can hear the pace, and you will also hear how scratchy my throat is still, and I've realised that's because the heating is on. So my family are all here, we're here over Christmas, and I think that's why I've got this scratchy, dry throat all the time, so bear with me, and if you like the video, like it, and please subscribe to my channel. Okay, so here we go. I always do my personal practice lying down, and I always do it in bed. So that's where we're doing it today. And I usually take between 35 to about, it could be 55, 60 sometimes breaths. Just to get that sensation of sort of headiness and lightheadedness, but I am listening to a time. I've got a time in my ears during this practice, so it won't be that many. I did 5 rounds to get to the 3-minute breath hold today. So you just have to bear with me because I'm doing my big belly breath in. I always breathe in and out through the mouth unless my throat is so ridiculously scratchy I can't deal with it. But so we'll just go with the flow, and if you want to follow along, let's do that, because we are breathing in at 100% and out passively. And so just breathe in and out, but let the air go passively at about 70% and bring it in at 100. Okay, so I'm going to do 5 more, 3 more, 2 more, 1 more. Huge breath in, and then I always do my breath holds, as you know, completely breath out. So my process for my practice, as you can see, I make myself fairly comfortable. I do have this scratchy throat, which is quite annoying, and so you'll notice that I swallow quite a lot during my breath holds. And to stop myself from breathing in during the swallow, I keep pressure at the back of my nose. In fact, I keep pressure at the back of my nose the whole time, so air doesn't seep in, but you can also pinch your nose shut to stop that happening. And I use this to meditate this time. I do a meditation practice, but I do use these breath holds to really find out what's going in my body, what's going on, what feels, just really feel into it, feel into the sensations. Notice where I'm holding tension and then let go of it deliberately. It's a really good way of sort of spending time actually present with yourself, this practice. So if you do follow me with my yoga videos, and do the practice with me for warming up for yoga, but also do your own practice where you can just take this time by yourself. Okay, big breath in. That was 1.5 minute breath hold. And as ever, I force up from the root lock, all the muscles up into the head. And imagine I'm pushing the cerebral fluid, I am pushing the cerebral fluid up into the brain, and release. Let's move on to round 2. Breathe in and out, in and out, in and out. So glad I got to the bottom of my scratchy throat. You'll be able to hear me clearing my throat through the practice. And I've just realised it's because the heating's on. I do have windows open, but The kids go around closing them again. Right, so in and out. Into 100% of your capacity, out passively. So I breathe in quite rapidly, probably more rapidly in my own practice than I do when I'm going through the pre-yoga breathing with you. And I find just keeping this quick pace helps me to really intensify the sensations in my body. So generally by about 20-25 breaths, 5 more, I'll start to feel lightheaded, and I'll start to have tingling in my fingers and toes, and that's the sensations I'm looking for. Okay, so this is our last one. And then let all of that air out, breath hold for 2 minutes, please, if you can. So if you're following with me, we're doing 1.5. We've done 1.5. We're going to do 2, 2.5, 2:45, 3 minutes. If you need to take a breath before, absolutely fine. Just start your breathing again after your recovery breath. And if you need to pause the video, I'm not going to make that very easy for you because I didn't cue myself up, because I just really relaxed into this, and I thought it was really important to be authentic and like true to myself with this practice. This was my Wim Hof method practice of the day today, and I wanted to share that. So I'm trying to keep it as real as possible. Usually I wouldn't film myself, obviously. So, continuing with what I do during my breath holds, I really try and intensify the sensation. So I'll scan my entire body. I start at my feet, even like down into my toes, and I imagine that I'm space inside each area of my body. So I'm not even me, I'm just an observer, a nothing, just inside, working its way through the body, observing sensations. And it's very for me that's quite intense, meditative, almost transcendental sensations. Okay, a big breath in. That was our 2 minutes. Sorry, there's no pre-warning. Force this air upwards. If you are holding the pausing the video, you can pause it when I take the breath in, and then just take your recovery breath and restart it with me after. Okay, so round 3. In and out. Belly, chest, head. Let it go. In and out. In and out. In and out. Keep going. As I've mentioned on many of my videos, Wim does recommend doing 20 to 25 minutes of this practice every day. And he often says that 3-minute mark of the breath hold is where you really start to make a difference. So the breath holds are all good, do what you can, but when you really want to get into those deep elements of the brain and go into your DNA and lengthen the telomeres and improve your telomerase production, and you want to start healing issues in your DNA from the past, there's so much science around that now. It's so interesting. If you can get a hold of a copy of the Wim Hof book, oh gosh, it's so good, read it. And if you can get a copy of the Wim Hof book on Audible or an audio book, well, enjoy, my friends, because it's one of the most uplifting yet scientifically balanced book you are likely to hear this century. So I can only say exceptionally good things about the whole thing. So keep going. We're probably going to do more breaths each round to achieve the longer breath holds, because we really need to hyper-oxygenate the blood. So the gas exchange between the blood and the cells is more efficient, and so I don't need any air in the lungs. This is our last one, and then let that all out. Get comfy. Imagine your body is made of lead, so we're letting all that air out. If you need to swallow, as I've said many times before, and I've previously just said, it's absolutely fine, just as long as you don't let air seep in. Just keep that pressure at the back of your nose, or pinch your nose shut. It's absolutely fine. Do not lie there in an uncomfortable situation, because you will stop enjoying your practice. Make it work for you. So for me, that sometimes means maneuvering my throat. I can almost scratch my scratchy throat from the inside out. I don't know how I do it. It's just a thing. And swallowing, because I seem to build up a lot of saliva during the breathing, heavy breathing. It's probably my body counteracting to the mouth breathing. As obviously you probably all know if you've read James Nestor's book Breathe, which I can also highly recommend. Nose breathing is the better form of breathing on the hour by hour, minute by minute basis. And these deliberate mouth breaths, they should be kept to a certain amount of time a day. Because nasal breathing is much healthier for the body. It uses the diaphragm more, and especially when it's conscious. And our noses very cleverly moisturize the oxygen, and they create the perfect balance of heat and moisture, so the lungs don't have to work so hard, whereas our breathing through the mouth doesn't do that. If you do get a chance to read that book too, James Nestor's Breathe, also highly recommend it. He spends some time also doing the Wim Hof method with a Wim Hof method instructor in America, and he speaks really, really fondly of the method, and he also does a lot of other breathing techniques, which is quite interesting. Right, big breath in. That was our 2.5 minute breath hold. Well done. Hold it, force it upwards, remember, all the muscle contraction up into the brain. Hold it. These recovery breaths are about 15-20 seconds. And release. Okay, we're going to move on to round 4. Belly, chest, head, let it go. Belly, chest, head, let it go. I've obviously never done this format of video before. Probably visually exceptionally boring, but let me know what you think if you've got this far. Well done. So keep going, breathing in and out, in and out, in and out, or find your own pace, because as ever, this is your time. Really, really force that air in though. You just, the hyper-oxygenating of the blood like this, of the body, where we blow off all of the carbon dioxide and over-oxygenate the body, creates an alkaline system in the blood, which is amazing for the immune system. There's so many things that cannot live in an alkalized body, and that includes carcinogenic materials. So yeah, it's really, really good. The amount of people that do this process with horrible autoimmune diseases and various other diseases, you only have to look at their testimonials to realize just how good it is. And now all of it is backed with science. Wim has gone to so many different universities around the world and backed up all of his method with science. It's absolutely irrefutable at this stage. So it's not just for well-being of the emotions and for general physical health. It literally is curative. Right, big breath in and release. Okay, this is our breath hold number 4. I was going to try and do 3 minutes on this one, and I just my throat got too scratchy, so I only held it for 2:45, and that's okay because 5 rounds is better than 4. This is also a different mode because I've got music on in the background of this, and that is because I do listen to music for my practice. I listen to music when I'm doing my own yoga, and I listen to music when I'm doing my cold showers of various genres, which is why there are various genres on this recording. And I hope it's not off-putting. I hope it works well with it, but let me know. Your feedback is deeply appreciated if you're still with me at this stage. Really, during these breath holds, don't forget to fully focus on the sensations in the body. I just absolutely love feeling into the tingling and the lightheadedness, and I quite often get like a rushing in the ears, sometimes like a tinnitus that goes off, so like a ringing in the ears. And it's just because you've blown off all that carbon dioxide, and the oxygen is almost waiting patiently like a knocker at the door to be absorbed by the cells. Such an exciting process. Really, really, really a gift to humanity, and save so much on pharmaceuticals. I can't remember the last time I had to take any, which is really nice. Gone from being somebody that would take paracetamol and ibuprofen and allergy tablets, and just require those to get through the day, and now I don't take anything ever. So even if I have a slight cold, I never need to take anything for it. I just breathe. It is the gift that keeps on giving, people, so enjoy. And just take the time. Now breathe, hold it in, force it upwards. Remember, this is our recovery breath after 4th round. Hold it, force it up. Hold it. Release. Absolutely lovely. Amazing. So you can see me resetting my time at that point, because that was when I was going to do the 3-minute time. And so I didn't want to disappoint, not do the 3 minutes, so I decided to do round 5. It was just because I had a really tickly throat towards the end of that last round, and I just had to take the breath. So this is round 5. And let's just say that it's more the merrier, isn't it, really, at this stage? Let's just keep breathing. Huge belly breaths in and out. In and out. Keep going. Force the air down as though you're literally pushing it into the base of your stomach. So what I find is you get it right into the base. It's easier then to get it into the chest. It's like it pulls the lungs open, your ribs open. And then just take that extra sip up into the air, and it's that sip in the head that makes you feel a little bit lightheaded. That's almost my favourite part, is just getting that lightheadedness from taking that extra sip up into the head. Just really experiment with how you feel about this. If you haven't done Wim's fundamental course, his 10-week course yet, That also I can highly recommend, and he often has really good offers on that course. It's each week you open a new section and he gives you a different style of his breathing each week, and so you can find the one that really suits you, and he offers something for every different occasion essentially. And there's yoga with that too. He has a lovely lady that he works with that does yoga with him, and he also gives you homework with your showers, and it makes it really fun. And then you work up towards week 10 where he gives you a challenge. So I can highly recommend that fundamentals course, and it's something to keep you occupied during this lockdown. So keep going. Remember, this is our final round, so let's, as ever, make these huge breaths. I can tell by how much I'm breathing in much more that I'm coming to the end of the breathing. So keep going, and I will give you the tell you when to take let your breath out. Okay, last one, and let this all out. So this is fully out, and close down the eyes, and we're going to hold this breath for 3 minutes. So really, really relax. Let your body fall heavy into the bed or the surface that you're on. Make yourself totally comfortable. Any tension that you're still holding in the body, maybe you've built some tension up from the deep breaths, find it, observe it, let it go, let it sink away into your mattress. And then just explore the feelings and the energy. By round 5, I'm experiencing a lot of energy build up in the body, and that can appear as lights behind my eyes. Usually today it was like golden and deep purple indigo lights behind my eyes. Lightheadedness, felt quite beautiful, felt light. It was almost like a transcendental experience. That's partly why I stopped queuing you up, because I was just so relaxed. Like visually stopped queuing because I was so relaxed, and I'd like you to do that. Really, really relax now. Watch behind the eyes. What can you see? Can you feel contractions in the hands, the muscles, as they're starved of oxygen? Although we've hyper-oxygenated the blood, it takes a while for that gas exchange to occur because you need CO2 to exchange the gas. And that's why you get the muscle contractions, it's why you get the lightheadedness. We've blown off all of the carbon dioxide, and so as this oxygen is gradually uptaken, you get all of these sensations. Just really lean into them, enjoy it, relax, and just feel present and aware. And any mental fog that you've carried forth. Recovery breath. Force this in. This is our last recovery breath. Hold this one slightly longer. Really, really force this upwards now. After a 3-minute breath hold, this recovery breath is one of the most delicious things in the world, so really enjoy it. Okay, and release. You did it, people. I did it, you did it, we did it. 3-minute breath hold with a scratchy throat. And I look forward to practicing with you again, and please give me feedback on this one. Namaste. Sat Nam. So yeah, that was a little bit different. I hope you enjoyed it. Feedback would be great. People have requested that. You know who you are. So I finally got around to doing that 3-minute breath hold for you. And let me know how you're getting on with your practice. I don't get so caught up with timing generally. I had a timer in my ears to do this practice today, but generally I don't time it. Sorry, Wim Hofers. Because I quite like it to be very meditative for me. That's kind of like my practice. But it's all about making it for yourself. So have an amazing day, and I will see you on the next video.